And now we come to the thrilling final episode of our radio drama. Old Pete Belden, driver of the jitney from Carsonburg to Copper Springs, has a double load today. Pete's ancient bus is carrying the Flying Bee payroll and a passenger, his niece Betty.
Hi everyone, Josh Alexander here. So it's been such a long time since I last uploaded. It's been about 2 months, but I figured it's a great time during the lockdown, the Covid-19 situation. It's not great, but we've got to make the most of it, because if we don't make the most of this situation, then we're gonna go crazy, and no one wants that. So I'll just tell you the story. I was at university in my second year of film production. All of my practical work at university has transitioned into essays, which isn't great, but at the same time, I've got a lot of freedom now and I'm back home in Norwich. It feels okay to be back, but there is like a lot of work. I just want to get on with things, and I want to just keep develop myself as a cinematographer. And I figured one of the ways I can keep doing that is by making YouTube videos. In this video, I'm going to talk about the top 10 things you can do during lockdown. Now, these might not be for all of you out there, but for me personally, these have really helped me and kept me focused during the lockdown. I haven't really been distracted too much. So the first thing I'd recommend is meditation. This might not be for everyone, but for me personally, I've been sitting there doing this 10-minute meditation, which I will link down below. And by doing this, it's allowed myself to really relax. Now, due to having anxiety a bit, getting stressed out over like silly things, I think it's really beneficial for us to all like just relax, chill out for like a sec, just take in the world, take in what you're doing. After it, I just feel, so relaxed, and I feel ready for the day. So every morning you only need about 10 minutes, go down to this video, or you can do one similar, just search like meditation on YouTube, and there's so many out there. I wouldn't recommend spending money on apps. I've never tried that, but I feel like just by looking at one of these YouTube videos, it really does help and it makes a difference. So that's my first tip for you guys. The second thing that I'd recommend is learning a musical instrument, or if you already play, just play more and try and learn more. Now for me, I've got an acoustic guitar, and I probably need a new one because I've had it for quite a while, but no doubt it's an amazing guitar, and I just love playing. Now, I'll play something quickly. Now you might be looking at me like, I can't play an instrument, I can't sing, I can't do anything. But trust me, a few years ago I couldn't play the guitar and I didn't know how to play. But what I'd say to you guys is, if you want to do something, just do it. So I feel like with an instrument, there's so much opportunities you can do with it, and you don't have to be good at it. You can just start off really basic. It's great fun, and if you ever want any advice playing guitar, let me know, because I've been playing a couple of years. The third thing you can do is go outside and get some exercise. Now, due to the law at the moment, I think you can only go out for about an hour a day, but this is plenty of time to get exercise. Now you can do running, cycling, even walking. It's up to you how you feel. For me, I do running, and I've actually started running every day now. It just feels amazing, like every morning, go out for a run, you get back, I feel ready for the day. Now you don't have to run a long distance. I run at the moment about 5k per run, half an hour, but I'll recommend an app. There's an app called Couch to 5k, which I'll link down below, and you listen to this podcast, you go on a run. As you build this up, after about 9 weeks, you'll get your Couch to 5k award, and you'll be able to run 5k in about half an hour. I guarantee you, if you've never ran before, just give it a go, because I just gave it a go, and now I'm running every day. If not, just go cycling, do anything. Just get out there, go for a walk, an hour per day. The weather's absolutely perfect right now, so I reckon after watching this, if you haven't done exercise, go out there and get some exercise. The next thing you can do, which doesn't apply to everyone, but for me it does, is play with your pets. Now, anything which you feel can connect you more with your pets, because I feel like in these times we really need to look after our pets, because it's a hard time. Good boy. to keep the love going, because for the most part, when you're working, like most people have jobs 9 to 5 and they won't see their pets all day. But of course, this time of year, people are working from home due to the lockdown. So I'd say spend time with them, really appreciate them, and love your pets. The next thing you could do is write a screenplay or write a book. Now, this might sound really ambitious, but honestly, writing a screenplay is probably a bit easier than writing a book, because obviously a book's like 300, 400 pages, if you know what I mean. So, and you have to have a certain mindset to be able to write a book. Not everyone can do that. During this time, making the most of myself by developing myself as a filmmaker, I'm probably going to write 2 scripts, and then once I got them made, I can develop them and keep going. And I think there's so much free time now, you may as well make the most of it. If you're not feeling that ambitious, then you can just use some free writing, make a journal, or make a diary. These are all great ways to really express yourself and get down on paper how you're feeling, how your days are going, how things are going in general. The next thing that I can't stress enough that everyone should 100% do is read books. Now, next to me, I've got quite a few books here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 12 books here, and these are all sort of different books. I've got one about Stanley Kubrick, the director. I need to read this. Then I've got some fiction books, more like narrative story based, because I feel for me, by reading fiction books, it really helps my creative mindset get in there, and it gives me inspiration for ideas. But if not, you can read more non-fiction books about, for me, I've got cinematography books. I've got one called Painting with Light, Cinematography, Theory and Practice. It's about image making for cinematographers, directors and videographers. Cinematography in general, and then lighting for cinematography. I feel like reading took a lot for granted. Like for me, I never was into reading. I never was into literature, writing or anything. But now that I started getting into filmmaking and being more creative, I feel by reading, non-fiction or fiction, you can really develop your literature, your vocabulary. We've got so much unlimited time now, just make the most of it. Number 7 would be watching films or TV shows. Now, there is so much content out there, it's literally ridiculous. You will never watch every single film or every single TV show ever made. You just won't. It doesn't matter what kind of films you like or what TV shows you like, there's loads out there. Streaming services, Netflix, Amazon Prime, what better time to spend watching films. Now, if you want some recommendations of films, I'm going to leave some in the description of my favourite films and TV shows that I've watched, because if you haven't really watched much, then I've got some great ones for you to watch. And even if you're not a filmmaker, you can take things from films, or you can apply filmmaking to music. Maybe you watch a film and that inspires you to write a song, or you write a film and that inspires you to write a book. If you're not really got into films, if you never really watched films or TV shows, it's the perfect time for you to watch them. Now, these last 3 things to do might not sound the most interesting, but they are got to be done. Number 8 is clean your house, apartment or flat. Now, a lot of the times you'll be, coming back from work, or you've had a long day out and you get home, you want to just relax, and then you just see your room is just a mess. I have a cup sitting on the side, and all my wires and cables, it's just a mess. So what I'd recommend is, during this time, you may as well make the most of cleaning your room, clean your house. Simple things like hoovering your room, washing your bathroom, anything like that, make the most of it, do it. My next piece of advice would be declutter your workspace. Now, this can be as simple on your phone, deleting some apps, but then it could be on your computer, going through your emails, deleting files. For me, as a filmmaker, I need to go through my hard drives. I need to sort that crap out. Usually, I just won't have time to do this, but I feel like in the lockdown, there's a lot of free time. There's going to be less distractions for you when you actually want to get on with a task, and it's a nicer work environment. The last thing I'm going to say for number 10 is plan your days. Get a notebook. So, for example, here, I've just got a little notebook. Just sit down and you can start writing out in a table, for example. You can do bullet points. Write a table on your notepad and break it up into sections. Maybe the first bit is bullet points about what you want to do that day. So write down a task you need to do and then have a box next to it and tick it once you've done it. The next thing you can do is write things you need to do every day. And then once you do that, you can tick it, and it just keeps you more in a routine. The final thing you could do is monthly goals. So you could write in monthly goals you want to have, weekly goals. Maybe you got you want to get a job this week. Maybe you want to write a script this week, or you want to learn an instrument this week. Things like that. So really just keep more of a structure and stick to a plan. Keep consistent. For example, with me, I'm running every day. I'm walking the dogs every day. So I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who listened to this video. I really hope I gave you some good advice, and you might take on some of these tips for yourself. And myself and my dog Hugo, we'll see you in the next video.